This video was sponsored by Squarespace. My favorite thing to crochet is granny squares. I just think they are cute, perfect little squares of fabric. As you know, I've been experimenting with turning crochet into ceramic, and I really want to try granny squares. My idea is to make clay granny squares that can function as coasters. Will it work? I don't know. Let's find out. So I made a little sample. First of all, I want to say that we are using 100% cotton yarn, undyed cotton yarn. This is really important because we're going to be burning this. And so, we want to make as few fumes as possible you're going to be breathing in. It'll also be nicer on your kiln elements. It's not good on your kiln elements to start with, but burning something that's a little bit cleaner will help. Here's my sample. If this looks familiar, you may have seen my blanket that I made out of this crochet granny square. It's a very basic crochet granny square. Let's be honest. But I wanted to link who I learned this granny square from. It's this YouTube video, except I did change one thing, which is the majority of this granny square is made up of double crochet. It's 3 rounds of double crochet, but I was thinking it was a little bit too small. So I actually added 1 row of single crochet around the edges just to make like a little bit bigger, like a little bit, it's about ½ centimeter all around bigger. That will help with shrinkage because while this is fairly large for a coaster, it's gonna shrink. So I wanna make a 4-piece coaster set, but because I don't have this technique fully down, there's a fairly high failure rate. If you've seen my other crochet videos, you'll know I'm getting better. I'm hoping I can make 6 granny squares and 4 will survive. We'll see. So let's make 5 more of these guys. I will have this tutorial linked down below. This is not a crochet tutorial channel, so I'm not going to be walking you through how I make this granny square, but it is exactly how these guys do it, plus the single crochet on the outside. I'm drinking hot chocolate because my studio is freezing. Do you want to see what I'm working on privately? My current crochet project is in my little crochet basket. I'm working on, it's very boring, but it's a new beanie for myself. I made my first beanie. It was my first ever crochet project. After having crocheted for years now, I feel like I really need to update my beanie because it's a little embarrassing. It's the piece that I probably wear the most, and yet it's probably my worst work. It's merino wool. Yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I think it's gonna look cute. That's what I'm working on. Normally I don't crochet in the studio. Normally I am snuggled up on the couch, but it's been a little tricky to crochet down here because it's so cold. So I've got my hot chocolate, but we're almost done. Okay, so I'm not going to block these because the dipping process in the slip is basically going to block them, but I do need to create some sort of structure to keep them straight and flat while I dip them. And I was brainstorming this a really long time, and I think I've come up with something, but we'll see if it works. I really don't know how I feel about this. I wanted the head of the nail to be broad enough so that when I dip it in, it's not gonna fly off. I feel like this is fairly secure. The idea is to dip it in to the slip like this. But is it a problem if it touches the board? That is the question. Is it a problem? Because I want to make sure slip gets underneath it as well. Of course, just like in the crochet vases, I will take it off at some point so I can make sure that clay gets underneath then. I guess the first steps are to just make sure that this thing itself is completely saturated with clay. Like the cotton fibers are completely saturated. And then maybe it's fine. I also don't know how I feel. Like, should I put ones here, here, and here too? Like, to make sure it doesn't bend in like this. Like, I want it to be nice and perfectly square, but I'm also worried if I tug on this at all, it's going to create like a little peak here in the middle. And I think I would rather err on the side of it going in like this versus like whoop, whoop, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I think we should try. And we just dip it in. It can't hurt, right? It's a simple and elegant solution, right? This is the slip that was used to make this vase. If you saw my crochet vase video, this was the one successful vase in my opinion. And in that video, I was questioning how to measure the density of the clay particles in here so I could do this a little bit more consistently. What that means is measuring the specific gravity. And thanks to this lovely video by this lovely Danish man, he taught me how to do it. And it's actually very simple. All you need is a scale and like some sort of measuring device. If you remember your science class, you'll know that 100 milliliters of water equals 100 grams. So that's our base, and that equals, and water has the specific gravity of 1. So I understand it is that you just kind of move the decimal. So I'm gonna tear this so that this is zeroed out, and then we're gonna pour in 100 milliliters of this slip, and we see what it says. It's very watered down, you'll see. That looks to be exactly 100, and this is exactly 110 grams. So that means, I guess, a 1.1 specific gravity of the slip. So I guess that's what we're going for. But we do have one more problem, which is that this doesn't fit. So we need to make more of this slip, basically. Let's take a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. If you've never heard about Squarespace before, they are an all-in-one website platform that artists and entrepreneurs use to stand out and succeed online. I've personally been using Squarespace ever since I started my online business because it has incredibly easy-to-use features, including their drag-and-drop website builder and integrated SEO tools. Whether you're just starting out or managing a thriving brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website to sell anything from physical products to memberships, digital products, and even services. You can also schedule appointments, create on-brand invoices, and send newsletters. And for the artists watching, I know you will love their cutting-edge design tools, where you can create a bespoke website that perfectly fits your brand or business. So head to squarespace.com right now for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/potterytothepeople for 10% off your very first website or domain. Now let's get back to the video. This is the slip that's too watery, but we're gonna add more dense slip to it. So hopefully we can make it work. So if you didn't see the vase video, this is casting slip. I've had it in my studio for years and years, so it's gotten really, really dried out. It is not the consistency that you wanna be casting with, but we're going to make it into, hopefully, the perfect consistency to dip. And the difference between casting slip and the slip that you get from like throwing or whatever, to my knowledge, it is that this has a deflocculant added to it, which makes it more viscous without adding more water, is how I understand it. This has never happened. Look at these little guys coming into my studio. Wait. Oh, they were creeping down into here. There's like berries and stuff. That's so adorable. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we dip it. Wait. That was dumb. That was really dumb. Do I have something wider? Do I really not have anything? These are like deceptively giant. Ah, that's so annoying. I guess I'll cut some of these down to the table saw. Okay, let us try this again. So I guess I'm gonna dip it basically until this is resting on the slip. I guess it will float a little bit, maybe? Wait, I'm having second thoughts. No, we're gonna do it this way because I feel like that makes way more sense. So I'm gonna use this dipping structure, but I think first, because I'm having flashbacks to how you actually block, I think I'm gonna actually dip it the first time, not on the support structure. Fortunately, that means we can't test the support structure, but we can do that tomorrow. I'm gonna dip it in and I'm gonna squeeze it. Squeezing with the intention of getting that slip deep into the fibers. And then I'll stretch it and put it on this. How does that sound, y'all? Does that sound okay? I feel like that's better than just dipping it because I feel like bubbles could easily happen if I just dip it. So, getting all the bubbles out. And then I guess I'm gonna stretch it, just like blocking. I'll stretch it how I want it to lay. It's very malleable now. I feel like that was the right decision, even though it means we can't test our dippers yet, which means I'll just make them all. That's fine. Let's let this dry overnight, and I'm going to dip the rest of them. Okay. That was interesting. I think that was successful. I'm glad I kind of switched up halfway through and squeezed the slip in because I feel like that's the right thing to do. I'm not sure. I'm going to let these dry completely. Hopefully they're dry by tomorrow, and then I'll just dip these over and over again over the next few days. I'm thinking, a few dips on the board. I'm going to have to remove the nails because these are going to be too delicate to lift over the nails. Hopefully I won't break them in the process. And hopefully they stand. I mean, the vase, it's like a 3-dimensional piece, right? This is 2-dimensional, which means it has less structural integrity. I am a little worried about it. Yeah, let's wait and see. We'll find out together. See you tomorrow. I've sort of pushed the granny square up as high as it will go on the nails to try and create like a little gap because I don't want slip necessarily sticking the granny square to the wooden board. We shall see. I probably should have used longer nails. We're just gonna dip this and we'll see how it works. Oh. She's fallen. That's helpful, I guess. I'm not sure. It's kind of pulling away. I hope you can see that, right? It's obviously way floppy still. Maybe that's okay, but then again, when I flip it back, it's going to kind of stick itself. I don't know. Like, I want to take it off. Should I just take it off and dip it again? I kind of feel like I should put newspaper underneath them because what happens when they're stiff, I'll have to bend it to take it off, but then it won't be stiff anymore. And we need it to be stiff so that once we take them off the boards, we can dip them and they'll hold their shape. Because if I dip it with a newspaper, then the newspaper is going to get saturated. That doesn't make sense. I wish I had like some wax paper or something. Maybe parchment paper? I do have parchment paper upstairs in my kitchen. I'm going to get that. I feel like we should try that. That might work. That's kind of interesting. It is pooling, which may or may not be a bad thing because then it's gonna create like, I was thinking about backing this with cork or something like that. So it's sitting softer on the table and maybe this will stick better. I'm not sure. What's really important to me is that the top is going to retain that granny square structure and then the bottom, we shall see. Should I just dip this without the board first? Let's try that since it's off already. I didn't think this was gonna be so complicated. That was a better dip. So when this is hard, I can just take the nails off, remove this, and peel back the parchment paper versus this hard board. If the granny square is stiff and there was no parchment paper, I would probably end up bending the granny square to peel it off the board. So just gonna dip it a few more times, I guess. Maybe next time we'll do it on the board. So Today, I would like to take these granny squares off of their little board things. I feel like the slip buildup looks pretty good. I feel like they might be strong enough, but let's test it on one first and we see how it goes. I'm hoping I can just take these nails out and then it'll just pop off, hopefully. That's my hope. That's my dream. Something moved. Ta-da! But here's the easy part. Like, I am worried about getting it wet now, because once it's wet, it might lose its shape. I feel like it's going to lose its shape, isn't it? Oh, I need my extension cord. 1 second. I am currently sharing one extension cord with my laser cutter right now. And every day, I walk back and forth and transfer the extension cord from one side of the basement to the other. So the tricky thing is I'm going to need to dip this whole thing at once. I shouldn't dip half and then the other half because then it will definitely lose its shape. So I also feel like the way that I dip it is gonna matter. At least for this first one. Like straight in, straight out. Beautiful. That really worked, didn't it? A little peek behind the curtain. IRL, my crochet vases video just came out. I know it takes like a really long time, like the production process of these videos and everything. Anyway, the crochet video just came out and I got so many nice people commenting about, number one, the water glass, aka sodium silicate, how I used that. What was the second one? Oh, measuring specific gravity. Thank you guys so much for those comments. I didn't change the way I dipped, reflecting on those comments because I didn't see them yet. And now we're in it. But there is a deflocculant in this slip, I will say, because this is casting slip. So even though I didn't add any sodium silicate to it, I'm like 99.9% positive there's already deflocculant in this because it's casting slip. It's like pre-made. It's ready to be used as casting slip. I did add water to it and maybe I should have added sodium silicate instead. So yeah, I really appreciate y'all's lovely comments. Like I feel like as a hive mind kind of thing, we know so much more. Like I am nowhere near an expert and I hope that y'all know that I'm not like pretending to be. I'm just experimenting and I don't do a lot of Googling. I do a decent amount of like designing, planning, but like sometimes I'll Google some things if it's like integral to the production of the piece, but like I'm kind of going in blind, mostly because I don't want to do research. I just want to kind of get my hands in there. That's a little peek behind the curtain. I'm not ignoring y'all's comments. It's just sometimes I start producing the next video before the video is out, so I get to see them. I actually can't believe how well this is working. I thought I was gonna have more troubles. Okay. I feel like we're getting close. Like the seams between the different stitches is starting to fill up with clay. And I need to be careful. I want to put enough clay, obviously, so that it can support itself, that it can handle being without the yarn. But I want to make sure I keep the definition, of course. So interesting, interesting. We have to just decide at some point when we're going to call it quits. I think they look pretty cute. See you tomorrow. Done 8 dips of these now. I think they're ready. They're looking pretty good. So maybe you can see some of the gaps are starting to fill. I don't want to lose too much detail. I think they're ready to go in the kiln. That doesn't mean I'm necessarily confident that these are going to turn out, but I don't want to dip them anymore. Let's go load them in the kiln. So normally I would just stack flat things, but I'm thinking for these, I'm going to give them each their own shelf to sit on because I just don't dare stacking them. They're just too fragile. Okay, wish me luck. Okay, it is the next day. I'm hoping that my granny squares have survived. Let's see. There's some other stuff on top here. Hang on. Ooh, 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 ooh. As always, they're light as a feather, but look at this. This looks so cool. You can hear it's kind of hollow. I mean, we've done this enough times to know that that's what to expect, but these three on the top at least look really, really good. This might be my best fabric dipping in slip that I've done. They look the best so far. All 6 are looking good. So a few of the holes have sealed, but I'm okay with that. It still reads very much granny square. So I have to figure out which glaze I'm going to use, or glazes. So I think I'm gonna do something kind of washy. I wanna do different colors because I think that might look kind of cool together. So what if we do like a bunch of different colors? Just pick out like my favorite colors. What are we thinking? What do we think about these? Like, I feel like I want it to be like these colors, but since we have 6, let's try 6, huh? And I think these look cool together. They look cool on the swatches anyway. We shall see how they look on the actual piece. Some of these are dipping and some of these are paint on. So I guess we'll experiment also with that, like how to do the application. I'm not really sure how to do the paint on with these, I must admit. I'm gonna dip this whole thing in one go because I do not dare do half and half. You've seen the problem with that in my duck crochet project. So I'm gonna just go in like, whoosh, like we're sifting for gold. Really getting excited about these pieces because they look so good right now. I love these candy colors that they currently are. Obviously, the glaze is going to change them quite a lot, but I think they look so good. I do have to wait until tomorrow, I think, before I dare to wipe the bottoms because you can see, if you look closely, they are quite saturated right now. Saturated bisque, it's the most fragile state that it will be. So I better wait until tomorrow and then I'll come back in with a sponge and clean off the bottom. But I'm actually really surprised by how smoothly that went. I feel like I finally, in the third try, I finally sort of cracked the code as to how thick the slip should be and also like how many times to dip it, because they feel like they're definitely light, but they don't feel as scary light as the other pots have in the past. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about this. It is the next day. Our granny squares are dried. They look fine, I guess. Some of the glaze definitely looks thicker than others. And so I realized I ought to use cookies. Yeah, the only thing is that I only have 4 cookies and I have 6 granny squares. And then also the cookie doesn't fully contain the granny square. The edges are going to go over the edge a little bit, and I don't know if that's a problem because I am worried that it's gonna then droop and then stick to my kiln shelf anyway, and also then I'll have a wonky granny square. But I feel like for some of them, I have to use cookies. Like, look at how thick this glaze is applied. I am worried about them sticking to the kiln shelf now, but at least I have a few cookies and I'm just gonna try it. I wish I had made more, and I wish I had made cookies in the size of the granny squares. Note for next time, or if you do this project, definitely do that. I'm gonna wipe these now. so I wiped them. That did take quite some time. I was trying to be really careful about not adding too much water and weakening the bisque all over again. But to be honest, towards the end, I was just kind of rubbing at it because there's so many like nooks and crannies. And then I was using a needle tool to kind of clear the glaze out of the holes, because if there's glaze sealing the hole, it's just gonna drop down instead of kind of cling to the sides. It might do either, but I don't know if I wanna take that risk. We'll see. I'm going to put all the non-cookied granny squares onto one shelf. So if I ruin a shelf, it's just one shelf. These are my thoughts. So how are we gonna distribute these granny squares? You can see how it does hang off, so hopefully I don't regret that, because distorted granny square is just as bad as a stuck to a kiln shelf granny square. Let's load the kiln. Okay, pray for me. Kiln is cool. I am dying to open this up. I'm so nervous. There's so many things that could have happened. Of course, it could crack into a million pieces because the bonds of clay were not very strong to begin with. But my main concern right now is for my kiln shelves, because I worry that they just kind of bleh. They just, dissolved into a puddle. I did have on 2 of my crochet vases where they just kind of bleh. So we'll see. Ooh. Okay, what I was worried about did not happen. I was worried that this would melt, but it did not. I don't know if it's stuck. Okay, let me unload these and we can have a look. Look at these colors. Oh my goodness. I'm a primary color girly through and through, so these just do something individually, fine, beautiful. But all together, they are just gorgeous. And the best news of all is that my kiln shelves are fine. Well, the even better news is, can we get all of these off of the cookies? These came off just fine, so I feel like we should be able to do it. I feel like I need to tap it. Beautiful. This one, you can see a little bit where the glaze dripped through, so hopefully that's not fusing it. Nice, okay. Little breakage, but that's fine, I think. Okay, my cookies did their job, because I did need them for some of them. Look at this stack of loveliness. How do we feel about the sound? I could put cork on the back of them. I think that might look really cool. I love this texture. It's the roughness of the yarn, but it's like a smoothed out version. And in some of them, the glaze really, it sits in the crevices. So it really accentuates that texture. Look at how cool that is. Oh my gosh, I'm like blown away. I was hoping that this project would turn out better than my previous crochet projects, because I have been working on developing the perfect slip mixture, but I'm actually stunned right now. These look so beautiful, and I feel like from far away, you would think that they are yarn, which is kind of what I was going for. I almost don't want to use these as coasters. I wonder if I can kind of want to hang them on the wall. I don't know, you let me know what I should do with them, because it almost feels like a shame to hide them, because to me, this is art. I love them so much. They are so, so pretty. Honestly, I cannot think of a single flaw right now, which is unusual. You know that this is unusual for me. After all of that work, after all of the fails of dipping yarn in slip, I cannot actually believe that we got to this place. And I'm so excited. I want to experiment more with more brightly colored crochet pieces, because when I did the vases, I wanted to default to white. This red is so inspiring to me, particularly this red in combination with all of these other colors. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I hope that this video was fun for you. This was a very fun one for me, I have to admit. And yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.